So I've noticed something with identity politics. It seems everyone wants to identify with a certain group or whatnot, except for what I would consider people that have a brain. This goes to politics and whatnot. You get Republicans and Democrats in the U.S. And then obviously no compromise in the middle because there isn't a compromise group in the middle. Um, but I've noticed lately, YouTube and whatnot, people are labeling YouTubers like uh, Sargon of Akkad, Shuan Head, and others as anti SJW or social justice warrior. If you're not in the loop, and it's just funny to me because it's like they're putting them in a group. It's like being an anti SJW isn't um, an identity that those guys identify with. It isn't a group. It's certainly not an identity that uh, I identify with. I'm not trying to speak on their behalf, but I just think it's funny because you see this like tribal ideological like mentality from uh, all these SJWs and feminists and whatnot when they get criticized. How come you're criticizing feminists and not doing anything to to make your own change? Well, I'm not a activist. Um, I wouldn't dare put down on my profile that I'm a activist because I make YouTube videos. I just wouldn't. So I think it's funny when I see that on people's social media accounts. They're an activist because they make a YouTube video and they go to some pro feminist meetings on their campus. And what the heck have you done? Other than complain about stupid things like the wage gap, which is really an earnings gap, or uh, you know, stupid things like, oh, we live in a patriarchy or white supremacy, even though that is so far from the truth. I mean, we have a black president and people still claim that we have white supremacy in the US. Just come on, think about it. Black president, black attorney general, um, numerous minority governors and state attorney generals, lawmakers, whatever. And then, females make up over half of college students. So, how are they being oppressed? um, it doesn't make much sense. And I don't ever expect it to make much sense when it comes to this crowd. But I thought I would just speak my mind on that real quick. Um, and if you have any thoughts on that, I'd be happy to see your comments. Have your comments on my video. It'd be nice to have a discussion about this. Um, and I really don't think there's too many channels. I really don't think there's ever going to be too many channels that can discuss this stuff um, because it's getting out of hand. If anything, being an anti-SJW, if you want to classify us in groups like that, is just being an intellectual, being someone that's open to questioning. And I don't think all these groups like Sargon, Shuan Head, Bearing, Computing Forever, Undoomed, etc. We're just being, I mean, they're being critical. I don't want to put myself in their group yet. uh, I mean, they're not, but it's not really a group, but um, they're just being critical of stupidity. I mean, particularly Undoomed. I love Undoomed. um, and that's important. They all have different political views. They're not all uh, groupthink. Uh, so I think people assume that they all have the same political ideology and they're all ganging up on these SJW idiots and feminists and whatnot. But really, um, it's just kind of so universally accepted that feminists are idiots and regressive, and they're just another aspect of the regressive left that's a problem, that people are just kind of getting sick of it.